People always ask me, James, what's keto like? Tell me more about the keto diet. Okay, nobody's ever actually asked me that, but it doesn't mean they're not thinking it. And just in case somebody is thinking it somewhere in the world, I'm going to talk about how keto has changed my life. That's sort of hyperbole. I don't know if it's really changed my life, but there are things to consider when it comes to keto. And for those who don't know, it's ketosis. It's about getting into a state where your body is using your fat for all of its fuel, for your brain and muscles and organs, and to keep everything going instead of carbohydrates. So, yeah, or basically sugar, glucose, glycogen, all that stuff. So if you get in that state, yeah, you're in fat burning mode, which is cool because it's really the only way to lose weight is have your body use your fat as fuel, and then you reduce the weight. And that can come through different ways, but like fasting and, I don't know, calorie restriction, which is kind of a lighter form of fasting, but it's all kind of doing the same thing, changing that state where you're using ketones instead of glycogen. So it's pretty cool. It's worth checking out on YouTube. Now, what I had to, of course, learn was all the foods I could not eat that I had hitherto eaten. And wow, there are a lot of things that you really can't eat, or you have to eat extremely small amounts if you want to do this. So, I mean, there's obvious things. There's cookies. Cannot have cookies anymore. And yeah, now I look at, instead of calories first, I look at carbohydrates, and 20 grams of carbohydrates for a serving, and that's 3 cookies. So yeah, if you're trying to stick under 20 grams of carbohydrates a day, that's it. You get 1 serving of this and you have to have no carbohydrates. So, but that's not surprising. So all of this, and it's also good to avoid this kind of food in general, because like, yeah, I mean, it's cookies. We know it's bad. No, this isn't new to us. Same thing, 21 grams. So everything. I used to enjoy a packet of 100 calorie, and I like the 100 calorie because, well, 100 calories. But this was, what was this? Yeah, 120 and carbs, 20 grams. So a serving this was actually no better than a serving of cookies. So I was kind of like, I'm learning something. Candy, cherry sours. I love cherry sour. 29 grams, 12 pieces, and that's not a lot of food. Again, no surprise. I knew that. I used to do this when I ran. This was my 23 grams. I mean, for the Oreo cookies, I'm sure I'm not going to be surprised here. Total cost 49. But that's if you ate the whole pack, although I could see myself eating the whole pack. I would think I would not want to or would do it, but I would. Sweethearts. Oh, I love these things. I mean, I know some people hate them. 26. They're so tiny. It's like mini carbs. So just all of these things would kill ketosis. So it would not take very long to basically have no chance of burning fat for the day. So that kind of sucks. Crackers, I do like crackers. Crackers are 23 grams, but you do get 8 crackers. So yeah, you can have a little bit of crackers. But again, the crackers, are they any better? And then it's a raspberry donut. I bought these the other day. I didn't eat all the donuts. I'm freezing them. And I'm spilling 35 grams for 1 donut. And that's 240 calories. So now you could ask, James, why do you have all this stuff? Well, actually, that is a good question. I'm just curious about these. I mean, this is pure sugar. Very good, though. Very sweet. This is like the pinnacle of sweet. This is 29 grams, and these are like marshmallow. I used to love circus peanuts, and so I see these, and they're circus peanuts, but very sweet. Why do I even have these things? I mean, if I can't eat them, well, I can. It's just I have to eat them. I usually have I just had a cheat day. Usually 1 day a week, maybe 2 on just a crazy week. But then, yeah, I allow myself. And even then, it's really, there's problems with like switching from like a diet of no carbs or very low to a lot of carbs, because it just shocks your body and not in a good way. So yeah, I'm trying to cut down, but I mean, there's stuff I haven't even opened. I bought this weeks ago. Not even opened. I don't know. I like having the option for that kind of stuff. It's the same with ice cream. There's just a lot of stuff. I was going to use IPA beer, because one of the things I used to love, but now IPA beer is off the table. Food being off the table would be a better analogy, but beer, yeah. So I don't even have it stocked anymore. I do have some very low-carb beer, which I don't have ready to go, but I do have it. So that helps. So yeah, all these foods are once in a while, like, treats. But not even daily. Not even daily at this point. One thing, I kept the bag here because this is petite broccoli florets. 25 calories, extremely low calories, and this is in a cup, which is pretty much a decent sized serving, and only 5 grams of carbohydrates. So yeah, it's definitely a lot lower than all this stuff. But if you're trying to maintain keto, yeah, fruits definitely off the table. But vegetables too, which kind of sucks. I'm supposed to be able to eat vegetables to have a healthy living. They cover these, sweethearts? Probably did. Yeah, so this is actually red vines, which I vacuum sealed so they'd stay. Because the other thing about this kind of stuff is I know I'm not going to eat them, so I have to vacuum seal them for a long time. Even cereal, I usually vacuum seal portions of cereal because cereal's, again, off the table for a long time. But at least when I do want it, it's ready to go. There's things I have, like Belgian waffles. Like, I like those, but again, once in a while, but that's it, once in a while. So my cupboards have just changed. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I got granola. Love granola with yogurt. Love it. Liked it. But, nah, I mean, 38 grams, I wouldn't eat 3/4 of a cup, but still 38 grams. So, yeah, it's a treat. These are once in a while treats. But now let's cover what you can eat on a keto diet. So fasting usually means, well, I think it always means sort of starving or being hungry most of the day. So keto is nice because at least you don't have to go through that, but at least the keto diet. So what can you have? Well, you can have pork chops. So you can have all the pork you want, I guess. I mean, you're still, I guess, supposed to monitor calories to some point, but not the same level. I mean, if you're mainly getting zero carbs, it should work up to a point, but I don't know if that's guaranteed. Turkey breasts, I hoped it had 0, but I couldn't find it was 0. Now it has 1 gram, which is like, oh, that's 0. It's not. 1 gram is still 1. I mean, anything positive adds up. So, and technically, I'm not supposed to be buying processed meats anyway. I think I forgot about that last week when I bought it. It's like, I know those are really bad. I just totally didn't think. Supposedly one of the healthiest foods in the entire world, because it was healthy even not being keto, but protein and just everything is good about an egg. 0 carbs, not even that many calories. It's just eggs are probably, and there's so many things you can cook with it. So eggs, yeah, eggs are keto, very keto friendly. It's probably one of the most important things. Just so versatile. Bacon, beer can, bacon. Yeah, 0 carbs, and I go light on bacon. Actually, I don't even make it a daily thing. I'll never get over bacon kind of being unhealthy. So I know it's keto friendly, but there's still cheeses. I'm not a huge cheese fan, and it kind of sucks to have cheese without crackers. But cheese without crackers, how do you do it? It's just, I do have cheese, and I mix it with pepperoni. So cheese and pepperoni, because pepperoni is okay. So these two things together, I think, yeah, they're okay. But yeah, it would be nice to have crackers. And then, of course, chicken. This is what I have. I bake it, and I freeze it, and I thaw it, and then I just use it for just everything. I mix it with just everything. I'm always having chicken. And I like chicken. So if you're a vegetarian, is keto possible? Or a vegan? I don't know. I don't know what they would do. But if you were a vegan and you didn't want processed foods either, I guess you'd be snacking on lettuce all day. But even lettuce has carbs. So anyway, all right, steak. I do love steak. So those are oh yeah. And then for liquid, we have heavy whipping cream, dairy-free. And yeah, the ingredients aren't filtered water, coconut oil. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's okay. But the keto is okay for just regular whipping cream, so heavy cream. Yeah. 0 carbohydrate, less than 1. I like 0 better, but less than 1 is okay. So yeah, these are good. This is really good for one of the most important things, I think, of a keto diet. Yeah, we'll get to that. So the most important thing, I think, for a keto diet is coffee, because you just got to have something. And even coffee can gives me like sometimes nausea. I just like an upset stomach for a while. So yeah, coffee's not perfect. Do I have this cleaned out? Yeah, I do. But yeah, I coffee the first part of my day, and then I switch to tea. And then one thing about the tea is if I'm not fasting, the tea can be mixed with the cream. And that's the thing, is these sugars, or these alternates, Truvia, which is supposed to be okay. Nothing's perfect in this world. 2 grams. So I don't even put this in my coffee anymore, because 2 grams, 5 cups of coffee a day, with that would kill it. So no added sugar, just the cream, which is, the cream's not bad. I mean, it definitely, I wish there were more, but, oh, and I should say almond milk too. So, but what I mainly bought this for is cereal, and I can't have the cereal. So I can have the almond milk, but not the cereal. Total carbs, 1 gram. I like 0 better. 1 gram adds up. 0 does not. So a lot of foods you can have, and fish too, a lot of fishes as well. So I think those are all good. But yeah, you do miss. I mean, I don't get bread, so I can't make a sandwich. So I get the meat, but not the sandwich part. I can't have a burger, because I could have the burger, but I couldn't have the bun. Yeah, so 100% keto, it can be tough. Even the little things that you usually add with it. Although I found sometimes the good little things like horseradish sauce for my steak, which has 1. I like 0 more than 1. Oh, and this neat little hot sauce. Hot sauce has 0 calories and 0 carbs. So this is with a chicken. I often have it with this. So that works out. So there are options. Don't starve if you're in keto. But I also don't think it's as effective as just plain old fasting. Fasting, your weight will drop a lot faster. You'll be in ketosis a lot faster. So fasting works best, but if you can't do that, then keto is probably second best. But you have to be strict. And even those 1s and 2s will add up. But there's a third thing to consider. So these are what I call the vice liquids, things that just feel good to drink. And I'm going to start with the number 1 thing. Well, coffee is the number 1 thing, but coffee is completely okay for keto. Wine. Now, you can't drink wine all day long, and you probably shouldn't drink wine all day long. But I have some wine every night before bed. That is like my tradition, my habit, and I just go with those old articles that said, oh, it's good for you. 1 to 2 glasses a day is good for you. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to argue with it. Those are the articles I like to read. The other articles that say, I don't care what you say. I'm going to stick with those articles. So all the modern research, I don't need that. But I love wine. It does have carbs. There's maybe 2.5 a glass. And this is even a glass. But in the end, I'll probably have a glass. So wine isn't the best for keto. But if that's my treat for each day, then I'll go with that. The second thing, I gave up those IPAs. I will have them when I go out with friends on special days, but I can't keep them in the house anymore. Lagunitas, though, is a beer with only 3 carbs. Actually, I think it's 3 point. They say 3, but I think I read it was like 3.5 or whatever. It's like, yeah, you're rounding to your advantage. I hear, yeah. But yeah, Lagunitas, 98 calories, 3 carbs, and very low, alcohol percentage. So there's that. But this is tasty enough. Not quite as good as an IPA, but probably and not as bad as like maybe the Ultra. And I like the Ultra okay, but those Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light, all that stuff. Yeah, it's just no. Apple cider vinegar. I don't pound this, but it's supposed to be really good. Maybe to take a teaspoon of this a day, just like really quickly, just shoot it down quickly and mix it with water so it doesn't hurt your teeth. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think I usually use this when I'm fasting, but that's a whole different type of flying altogether. This definitely divides people. Diet soda. Obviously, you can't have regular soda at all. Just 1 can would just kill. And there's so many other reasons, but diet, I know people, they aspartame, they asked, whatever. I don't get to argue with that. I drink these and run 1,200 miles a year, so if someone else is running 1,300 and doesn't drink it, then okay, voice up. But I don't know. I'm still open for research, but I just find is you just got to do what works. You got to do it. If you can say, don't drink that, and it's like great, and drink water, great. But if that's not sustainable, then just go with what is sustainable. So I don't argue with people. It's like believe it. Go with the research that works for you. Okay. Vodka. This is Brian. Even opened it up. Vodka. I thought all alcohols, liquors especially I know they all have calories, but I thought they all had carbs. Turns out I was mistaken. I'm still learning new stuff. How can I still be learning new stuff this late in life? Yeah, 0 carbs. So you can make a mixed drink as long as what you mix it with does not have carbs. So you can't be mixing it with carbs, otherwise it kills it. But there are things to mix. Now, I like Scotch, so I went out and Johnny Walker Black Label. I thought about the double black, but it actually didn't say how long it was aged. I assume at least 12 years. This is 12 years. But you can make, one of my drinks lately is a Highland Sling, and that has lemon juice added, and even lemon, and some lemon zest if you got the thing to make it, and sugar. Just don't add the sugar. Yeah, skip the sugar, and this is like pretty much zero carbs too. I think there might be a tiny bit in these colored drinks, but yeah. So liquids, I like that. I still probably will still mostly stick to wine at night, but knowing that I can have a small, I don't go crazy on the hard liquor at night, especially on a daily basis. But I just like it having it as a treat and knowing that yeah, I can have that. So yeah, I do miss things. I miss bread. I used to buy a loaf of bread at least a week and go through it like on a daily basis, have just way too much. And that's why, you know, in looking back in retrospect, often I wasn't getting the results I want. I didn't realize just that several slices of bread were just killing progress for the day. Some of that snacking I would do was just killing progress. I'd just think, oh, a little bit of chocolate. That was killing progress. Yeah, even the nuts, the wrong kinds of nuts were just killing progress. So Toblerone. I just bought Toblerone. Why? I don't know. I buy things and I just, I don't, now that I have so much more knowledge, it's not going to hurt me as much because I'm not going to eat as much for sure. But this has 20 grams and a serving is 4 pieces, which actually, I might eat 1 piece or 5. So yeah, there we go. Keto. My kitchen is now keto friendly. And yeah, I've been learning a lot. And it's funny because I got these things like flour. I still have flour for cooking and baking and sugar for cooking and baking, but I thought probably not really going to use it anymore. So I bought almond flour and I bought kind of the fake sugar. Still has carbohydrates, definitely not as much. And I thought, what about the other things? Like, well, I still want to make things on special occasions. I still want to treat myself. The one thing about baking is usually you bake a decent amount. And if I only have a small portion once a week, what do I do with all that extra stuff? I mean, yeah, I can freeze it. And I do have a lot of stuff frozen. But I don't know. It's just like, I kind of think there might not be any point to baking stuff like that. So if you are going to bake, you can bake keto-friendly dinners and stuff like that. Well, baking or cooking, I think mainly for cooking. I don't know what you bake for keto-friendly. Although I did make some peanut butter cookies and stuff like that. Still has to be treats. Couldn't have them on a daily basis. But all right, that's keto. I'd say in a nutshell, but that'd be a pretty big nutshell. So there's a joke there. Yeah, I've kind of changed. It's changed my life to some degree. But I don't know how long will this last. I don't know. But I in the end, I just want to keep always getting results and trying different things to get results. And then looking back, I usually gravitate towards the things that get me the most positive results. So anyway, it's really not that. Keto's nice because you're not starving. It's just you're not getting that bread and cookies and cake and candy and sweets. And I do miss those things sometimes. Once a week. There we go.